Today we're going to go ahead and do the final swap of the Deka project. These are original goat Kirinite scales. Kirinite is a thermoset acrylic resin. Let's break that down. Thermoset meaning heat. They will achieve their final hardness with just one heating of two elements or more, or two mixtures, so to speak, of resins. So let's jump to the last part of that. Resin, think about epoxy resin, gets very hard, extremely hard, and generally speaking, a lot of resins are really good at handling high temperatures without melting, so they're good at actually milling and so forth afterwards. And acrylic is very tough and also very long-standing. If you look at most of the industrial aquariums out there, they're made of acrylic, so very, they can take a lot of weight. I'm not gonna be replacing these, but I kind of want to compare these to the Ultim ones, which I did the swap out. I'll go ahead and link that video up there. But for the Deka project, I'm actually going to be replacing, this is the last Deka that I'm modifying for, again, a project that will be coming up, and you'll get to see that as the year progresses here. But this is the final Deka I have to do, and I'm going to be replacing these brown polymers. These aren't as bad as the black ones. They actually look a little bit better, but they still have a little bit of that slipperiness to them, and I think a little bit of imbalance. Just a little bit. But the slipperiness in combination with the balance is what kills me. These original goats definitely have great texturing on them. This is the, OG1. If I'm wrong, it might be MM, but I will, if I'm wrong, if it's not OG1, I will flash that on the screen, what that is. We're here to go ahead and install those. I'll pause it here, go through the installation, and then we'll do a final review. The one thing I do want to mention up front before we jump into this, I got flying scales, is I did notice this, and I notified OG, Original Goat, that these do not have a receiver nut, so to speak. If you take a look at the factory ones, let's get that there. So the factory ones do screw in on the pocket clip to an actual nut. These do not. They have a reliance on going into that hard plastic and holding. When I notified OG, they basically said that they're aware of that and they're considering it, but they've been product testing these with folks on staff for a while, and they haven't really had a problem with this. And everything I read about acrylic, it should be good enough. That said, this is not something you're going to want to do many times, like taking apart, putting together, taking apart, putting together, because you're going to have steel going against straight acrylic there for your pocket clip. I did get this particular one was the right hand tip off only. Let's go ahead and proceed with the swap. Well, Original Goat, man, they hit it out of the park again. I'm telling you, there's not been a single thing that I've had a problem with there. I have a plan talking about that pocket clip and the fact that it didn't go into machine screws or bolts, rather, receiver bolts. My thought is they went in okay. They seem sturdy. If they ever have problems, you're going to notice. With any pocket clip, you're going to notice it's going to start coming loose. And if it does, my first shot is going to basically be putting a little bit of blue Loctite just to form a little bit of an additional seal, let it dry. That should be fine. But I decided to go ahead and keep these scales, not throw them away or anything. As a third or tertiary, these appear to be basically straight and round. And I could actually just cut those out, grind those out, go ahead and counterbore in, a place for those, basically epoxy them in, sand them, and then I could screw them straight into there. So that's kind of my tertiary in case I run into real pocket clip trouble. I don't know that I'm gonna. It's gonna take some time to carry this to know. I just don't think I am. Maybe if you drag on hit it on a door jamb or something like that, or the corner of a bed real hard, the kind that actually bends your clip, that might be where it possibly comes into play. But I just don't see that being a big problem. As far as the weight of this thing, the knife went from, with the polymers, it went from 2.1 ounces to 2.2 ounces. So, and that's with the backspacer, by the way. The floating backspacer, it looks beautiful. Take a look at that. That's actually really cool. And the jimping matches perfect on the back there. Not jimping, I guess texturing. Texturing, jimping, whatever you call it. But oh, absolutely, the grip is so good now. It's beautiful. It's really comfortable because it's nice and smooth up here. And you've got the marvelous grip. And just take a look at the beauty of these things. Yeah, this Kirinite, you're going to probably... I know they just released some for the AD20 and AD20S, which if you were looking at lightening those up, my gut feel is, based on the fact that this is essentially the same weight as polymer, it's going to be lighter than the G10 ones, which is mostly what those come in. If you're not looking for the full aluminum or titanium, which is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm just waiting for them to return with those. I think they actually returned with some aluminum here, but I was going to wait for some titaniums to come back. Just rambling at this point in time. Absolutely love these. Yeah, Kirinite. Again, this is one of those, it's going to be a really hard plastic. You can leave it out in a car. It's not going to melt or anything like that. It can be machined and it doesn't melt. And that's why you get such great formations with this. By the way, the swirling is by design. It's literally intended to kind of look like a bowling ball swirl, if you will. So this, ironically, was actually, if you go look at the original Goat site, this was their model. This was their original prototype that they took all their pictures of, and I got this one from the Easter find. So yeah, the price on these, by the way, is $100 and $25 for the floating backspacer there if you want that. I definitely think it makes it awesome. You can find your 15% discounts. I am not necessarily an affiliate. I stay independent, but Everyday EDC has them. I know, I think Lefty might, and I know that Neves does as well. So you can find your 15% discount coupons out there, or whatever you call it, codes for those, and then that'll save you some there. So on the whole, yeah, this definitely takes the Deka to next level. What more to say? Another home run. Take care. These are the Kirinite scales from Original Goat for the Hogue Deka V2. These things are fire. These things are dope. These things are gas. Yo, bro, these are sick. These things are lit. These things are dripping in style. On fleek. Right, on fleek is not popular anymore. Oh, these scales slay. These will cost you $100 and $25 for a matching backspacer. But fret not, use my discount code EDCC on Original Goat for 15% off. I'm out, y'all.